Dr. Jose Rizal.
Dr. Jose Rizal.
Kahit musmos, alam mong yung pangalan.
Ay parang si Superman.
Ka kahit saan.
Sino ka ba? Sino ka ba?
Sino ka ba? Jose Rizal, sino ka ba? Mayroon nga bang taong sintulong mo? Sino ka ba? Jose Rizal, sino ka ba? Mayroon nga bang taong katulad mo?
Doktor, pintor, siruhano, arkitekto,
Matapay na nalo na ng tula at drama. Nangolekta ng kay raming medalya.
Manunulat,
Bilangin sa isipan.
kahit sa mga lingwahe.
Radyo is always at your service. Kaya naman, ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa amin to improve our programs on air and online. Para alam ni teacher yung strengths as well as the things in your mind na mas makatutulong sa mas effective na pagkatuto sa teleradyo. Please take time to send your feedbacks via Teleradyo Mu, which you can access by scanning the QR code on the right or typing the URL provided here, bit.ly/3ORVAY9. One more, this time you follow bit.ly/3ORVAY1. Kaya send your hashtag TBH o hashtag RT dito sa Teleradyo Mu, kung saan ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa teleradyo.
Manood, Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Sa gitna ng mapanubok na panahon, magkahatid sa kakakibat ay diskusyon. Sama-sama tayo, kahit magkalayo. Sa programang ito, tiyak ang pagkatuto. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo.
The new agriculture is not a way of life by men in bib overalls. It is a highly integrated profession practiced by professionals who apply modern business techniques, scientific knowledge, and mechanical innovations to their operations. A new horizon, a new beginning, a new segment. Good day, Delphilarians, especially to my avid viewers and listeners. It's me once again, Sir Archie Bilyang Capahardo, ang kakwela mo. And welcome to my new segment, Agri is Kwela. Join me as we discuss different features on agricultural crops production under this new normal. But before anything else, let me thank you for your continuing support and for religiously tuning in to our official school radio-based and social media-based instruction, Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Maloleño. Shout out to our ever-supportive school principal, Dr. Maria Victoria C. Vivo, to our department head, Mrs. Virginia C. De Guzman, master teachers, TLE family, grade 9-1, 9-2, 9-3, 9-15, 9-22, former students, and friends. And before I forget, to my special someone listening and watching at Bagong Silang Elementary School, 4th Avenue, Caloocan City, thank you for the support. Delpilarians, Archinatics, are you ready under this new normal? Speaking of new normal, let Speaking of new normal, let me serenade you first via my original composition entitled New Normal at it is being performed with music accompaniment from one of our SPA student, Miss Althea Gulpan. There you have it, Delpilarians, my original composition entitled New Normal, music and performed by Miss Althea Gulpan, our SPA student. I hope that somehow the song gives us an inspiration in coping up the new normal we have right now. Before we proceed with our Agri-Escuela adventure, I want to hear from you, my avid listeners and viewers. So kindly comment down below your name, grade, and section. Looking back in time check, 11:15 in the morning. Time brought to you by Rob's Nursery Garden, where your plant is our priority. Let's take a recap of what we have discussed last time in our teleradyo. Last time, we talked about the different kinds of nurseries, namely temporary, permanent, forest, vegetables, fruits, and flower plant nurseries. We also discussed the different types of plant nursery businesses, such as retail plant, landscape, commercial, and mail order plant nursery. To sum up, a plant nursery center offers its customers all types of young plants that are local, imported, and exotic. A nursery customer could be a home gardener, landscape gardener, or even a commercial farmer. A nursery business must cater to a wide range of plants that will be indoor to outdoor plants and container to earth planting plants. Nurseries must be equipped with all kinds of horticultural requirements, such as sorts of plant seeds, soil mix, fertilizers, insecticides, garden chemicals, garden tools, and be able to answer backyard inquiries. Apart from plants, the nurseries have the ability to assist in all kinds of inquiries and purchases. May dunong, diwa at dangal. Yan ang kabataang Delpilarians. Is it a fact or a bluff? Well, let's find out as we play fact or bluff. With me are set of questions. You need to answer whether the statement is fact or bluff. I will give you at least 5 seconds to answer. Just key in fact or bluff on your comment down below. Let's begin, Del Pilarians. Our first question. The largest plant nursery in the world is the Huntsville Wholesale Nurseries in Alabama. Is it a fact or a bluff? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Blackboard reveal. Is it a fact? The largest nursery in the world is the Huntsville Wholesale Nurseries of Alabama. The largest acreage actually planted to fruit trees of any nursery in the world. The nursery rows, if placed end to end to form one row, would measure about 710 miles. How do you imagine that one? Okay, next question. Puerto Rico is the country with the most number of plant species in the world. Again, Puerto Rico is the country with the most number of plant species in the world. Is it a fact or a bluff? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Blackboard reveal. Is it a bluff? It's not actually Puerto Rico, but it is Brazil. Brazil is the Earth's biodiversity champion. Between the Amazon rainforest and Mata Atlantica forest, the woody savanna like Cerrado, the massive inland swamp known as the Pantanas, and range of other terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems, Brazil leads the world in plant and amphibian species count. So it is a bluff. It is not Puerto Rico, but Brazil, the country with the most number of plant species in the world. Next question. Bamboo is the fastest growing woody plant in the world. Again, bamboo is the fastest growing woody plant in the world. Is it a fact or a bluff? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Blackboard reveal. Is it a fact? Bamboo is the fastest growing woody plant in the world. Well, actually, it can grow 35 inches in a single day. Just imagine how this bamboo grow in just a single day. So that is a fact. Next question. From a botanical standpoint, pumpkins are fruits, not vegetables. Again, from a botanical standpoint, pumpkins are fruits and not vegetable. Is it a fact or a bluff? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Blackboard reveal. The answer is, it is a fact. So from a botanical standpoint, pumpkins are fruits, not vegetable, simply because they were the plant's seeds. So it is a fact. Next question. In Belgium, May 1 is la Fête du Muguet, the festival of the lily of the valley. Again, in Belgium, May 1 is la Fête du Muguet, the festival of the lily of the valley. Is it a fact or a bluff? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Blackboard reveal. The answer is, it is a bluff. It is not actually in Belgium, but in France, May 1 is La Fête du Muguet, the festival of the lily of the valley, wherein the celebration includes giving bouquet of lily to our loved ones, wishing them health and happiness. So it is not actually in Belgium, but in France, where we give during May 1 our loved ones with bouquet and wishing them health and happiness. So that is a vlog. Tunay ngang may dunong diwa at dangal. Yan ang mga kabataang Del Pilarian, and that is a fact. And now, let's all begin our Agri is Eskwela adventure in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Quarter 3, week number 6, lesson 6 tackles all about the different practices and operations in a plant nursery. Let me read our content standard and performance standards for this lesson. To begin with, our content standard, the learner must demonstrate understanding of concepts, underlying theories, and principles of nursery work. Under performance standards, the learner must use farm materials, tools, and equipment in nursery work based on required tasks. There you have it, our content standard and performance standards for today's lesson. Our learning objectives for today. After this lesson, learners should be able to undertake nursery work in safe, appropriate, and environmentally sound manner according to nursery guidelines. Second, observe workplace hygiene practices, handling and disposal of materials following nursery policies and OHA's requirements. So what are the common practices or operations in a nursery? So the common practices or operation in a nursery includes the following. Number 1, preparation, use, and maintenance of germination or rooting beds to be used only for germinating seeds or rooting of cuttings. The second one, we have potting or the transfer of young seedlings to individual containers like thick, black, plastic bag in various sizes. The size of the plastic bag varies with size of the seed. Black plastic bags for atis or sugar apple are smaller compared to the one to be used for coconut or rambutan. This practice provides an advantage of giving the seedling the vigor and the condition for root ramification and development. So the different size of the container varies on the kind of seedlings or seeds that we are going to plant. Next one. Care and maintenance of seedlings ready for transplanting. Normally, seedlings are ready for transplanting when they have attained around 30 centimeter in height and at least 3 to 4 mature leaves, but this varies with species and variety. For specific crops, the basis is age in months, which are the following. For papaya, for transplanting of papaya, you need to take at least 2 to 3 months. Jackfruit and guyabano, 4 to 6 months. Guyabano, 3 to 4. Lanzones, 6 to 8 months. Cacao, 3 to 6 months. Coffee, 6 to 10. And coconut, 6 to 9. The next one, under different practices, we have management of light or solar energy in nursery. Some form of shade is needed by some seedlings while in the early stages of growth and development. And also those are in the rooting bed. Crops that can be exposed to direct sunlight after transferring to polybag or thick plastic bag includes mango, coconut, and citrus. Those crops that need 25 to 50% partial shades include coffee, cacao, rambutan, and lanzones. The shade can be provided naturally in conditions provided by the canopy of coconuts and artificial structure like nets, bamboo slats, or use plastic in improvised screen houses. We temporarily interrupt this program for words from our dear student.
This is Mr. Black. He already go home after buying his garden plants from a cheap retail plant nursery. While this is Mr. Wise. He is still on the Raps retail plant nursery shop. He is being educated on how to take care of the garden plant he bought. Mr. Black puts the garden plant into the place where there is a lot of direct sunlight. His plant gets sunburned due to the too much sunlight coming from the sun. While Mr. Wise put his garden plant in a place where there is only 6 hours exposure to the sun, since he remembered what the staff on the Raps plant nursery told him. Mr. Black quickly watered his garden plant without knowing that he already overwatered his garden plant. A few days later, Mr. Black's plant died, and Mr. Wise's plant lived healthy. Be like Mr. Wise. Buy at Rap's Plant Nursery Shop, where your plants are our priority.
Welcome back, Del Pilorens. You're still tuning in live to Teleradyo Marcelo ang telearalan ng bawat Maloleño. Once again, I'm Sir Archie Villanco Fajardo, ang kakwela mo. Only here on Agri Eskwela. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe via different social media platforms. Let's proceed with our next topic, the environmental aspect of nursery work. Every endeavor is an individual position when it comes to adopting and implementing eco-efficient practices. Your plant nursery operations may be just beginning this process, while others already benefiting from incorporating initial, easy-to-apply strategies and procedures are now prepared to implement the next level to achieve further gains. Plant nurseries are increasingly considering environmental performance as part of their planning and operational procedures. Adopting eco-efficient agricultural practices will not only benefit the environment, they will also improve business operational efficiency and reduce costs. We have certain guidelines, include safety equipment, personal protective equipment, safe work methods, and operating procedures, and the safe use of tools in a safe environment. Talking about personal protective equipment or PPE. Personal protective equipment or PPE is required where there is a risk of injury or contamination to you or others. There are certain equipment to be used with chemicals or nursery materials may include the following. We have respirator for dust or gas particles, waterproof boots, waterproof gloves made from vinyl, rubber or synthetic material, waterproof pants and jacket, or waterproof wide-brimmed hat with non-absorbent headband, clean overalls or outer clothing, face shield or goggles with side shields. Then the following are appropriate clothing required for all nursery work, and this includes the following: strong, comfortable close-in shoes or boots, long pants and long sleeve shirt, wide brim sun hat, and these are the following necessary items for protection, which include the following: sunscreen lotion, leather gloves, sunglasses, vinyl gloves. Latex gloves are not recommended as many people have or develop allergies in the form of skin rashes. The next one, we have the material safety data sheet. So what is this? Material safety data sheets or MSDS. The information on a MSDS outlines the composition of the material, its safe storage, use, and application. The MSDS should always accompany chemicals and substance including soil or potting mixes. Users should be made aware of the MSDS and adhere to any recommended safety direction. Here is the example of our material safety data sheet. The next one, we have working with soil. As a precaution, it is imperative to keep soil mixes moist at all times, including when moving it from one place to another. This reduces the amount of airborne dust particles. There have been reported cases of respiratory type illnesses from exposure to potting mix, mainly from the use of bad potting mixes. Nevertheless, as a precaution, it is imperative to keep soil mixes moist at all times, including when moving it from one place to another, because also workers are required to use disposable vinyl gloves when handling different potting mixes. Some of other materials used in propagation mixes also have fine particles. When using these materials, a respirator must be worn and the substance need to be moistened when blending to reduce airborne particle movement. Next, talking about with chemicals. It is always best to avoid the use of chemicals as much as possible and rely on alternative methods to control pests and diseases such as integrated pest management. However, sometimes it is necessary to use horticultural oils, pesticides, fungicides, fertilizers, and additives. Always follow directions when applying chemicals and fertilizer. And be aware that even though substances may be organic or plant-based, there may be still a need to wear protective gloves and even a respirator. Always read the label before mixing and follow safety directions. Gloves and appropriate clothing must always be worn when mixing and applying, and respirator will be necessary when spraying chemicals. We interrupt again before we end up. Let's have a commercial break from one of our students.
Blossom, the place where your flowers bloom.
lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her.
With the introduction of agriculture, mankind entered upon a long period of meanness, misery, and madness, from which they are only now being freed by the beneficent operation of the machines. Farming always has been different from the average business. We reward farmers for enduring the uncertainties of trying to plant and harvest a crop because agriculture is regarded as a necessity to the nation's well-being. We realize that many huge farming enterprises are immensely profitable, well protected from the ups and downs of weather cycles, and recipients of generous subsidies from the government. But many smaller farms are one bad year away from bankruptcy. Failing to help sustain the agriculture industry could mean that not only will many farmers go out of business, but also that many potential young farmers will decide to look for another line of work. That would be bad news. To all hardworking farmers in the world, a salute to all of you. A salute to all farmers around the world feeding the world. Before we finally end up, let me thank the following. Props Nursery Garden, where your plant is our priority. Pick a boo. Pick a plant and beautify your surroundings. Blossom, the place where your flowers bloom. Halaman Tita, eat plants, not animals. It has been a pleasure and an honor being with you. Thank you once again, Dr. Maria Victoria C. Vivo, our dear school principal. Mrs. Virginia C. De Guzman, our TLE department head. TLE master teachers, TLE family, grade 9-1, especially to Nikki Nelson T. Marcelo and Elia Kim Tenorio. Grade 9-2 to Rafael Andre Faustino. Grade 9-3 to Cassandra Deborah Gatchalian. Miss Altea Gulpan, our SPA student. Bagong Silang Elementary School, Port Avenue, Caloocan City. Family, friends, ladies, and gentlemen. Thank you for listening and watching Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Maloleño. Once again, this is Sir Archie Villanca Pajardo on Agri Eskwela, ang kakwela mo. Now, signing off.
Jose Rizal, Dr. Jose Rizal.
Dr. Jose Rizal.
Kahit musmos, alam mo yung pangalan.
Ay parang si Superman.
Kahit saan.
Sino ka ba? Sino ka ba?
Sino ka ba? Jose Rizal, sino ka ba? Mayroon na bang taong sintulong mo? Sino ka ba? Jose Rizal, sino ka ba? Mayroon na bang taong katulad mo?
Doktor, Pintoro, Cirujano,
Bata
Arkitekto,
pa'y nanalo
Eskultor.
na ng tula at drama. Nangolekta ng kay raming medalya.
Manunulat,
Bilang sa isipan sa
kahit sa mga lingwahe.
Teleradyo is always at your kaya naman. Ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa amin to improve our programs on air and online. Para alam ni teacher yung strengths as well as the things in your mind na mas makatutulong sa mas effective na pagkatuto sa Teleradyo. Please take time to send your feedbacks via Teleradyo Mu, which you can access by scanning the QR code on the right or typing the URL provided here, bit.ly/3ORVAY9. One more, this time you follow bit.ly/3ORVAY9. Kaya send your hashtag TBH o hashtag RT dito sa Teleradyo Mu kung saan ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa Teleradyo. Feedback